Celtics Talk podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com. New England gets more at 24.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Christopher?
Kayla was just snacking, and I did a false start on the podcast, so she had to
last bite of Twix. So thank you for being patient with me.
No, it's okay. Everyone needs a celebration Twix after the Celtics defeat the Los Angeles Lakers. A game that, I mean, it was briefly close in the fourth quarter, but I never felt like the Lakers were an actual threat. I told you all week, I thought the Lakers were a bunch of frauds. They have not been good against top talent. The Celtics imposed their will on a night they weren't even like razor sharp. They find a way. JB and Payton Pritchard going for 30 apiece. But let's just start big picture. What's your big takeaway from tonight's game?
Great setup. Big picture. Celtics are freaking good. Like, they're good. The Celtics collectively as a team, you can go up against teams like the Lakers that have LeBron, that have Luka, that have Austin Reeves. And those are great talent. And needless to say, right?
For sure.
But there's something about this unit as a group that's that's allowing them to travel far. And that's what I think the advantage that the Celtics have. And look, we're talking about a recap of a game that really wasn't even close. And it's the Lakers. Like, we set up a pregame. We love to do the rivalry matchup.
Yeah.
You know, we had USA beating Canada, winning gold. And it's just, like, so fun. And to set up these rivalries. So I'm thinking going into this game, it's probably going to come down to it. And then right out the gate, Eddie talked about this a lot in postgame, but just the pace and the tone that they set, Nimi with that early dunk on Doncic, and then even just the steals. Your guy Ugo going after the ball, Derek White.
That was a fun stretch.
That was so fun, and they're imposing their will early. And to me right now, Chris, my biggest takeaway is there's not one team right now, honestly, that I don't think the Celtics can beat. I think that it'll be competitive, and I wouldn't be surprised if certain teams like Detroit, take them to the end.
It would be a tough series, but you feel pretty good about where the Celtics
can match up against anybody.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I've kind of started to come away with is the Celtics defense over the last 10 games has gone up, not even like just one level, probably two levels. And, I mean, the offense was great for much of the season. What JB has done with the 30-point nights and the overall efficiency, they were number one for a while. They've been kind of ping-ponging with Denver ever since. But the defense was always kind of middle of the pack. Like, I think there were stretches of the season where they were down at 18th. So not only are they a top 10 defense right now, but after tonight, now I'm waiting for the numbers to update, they, over the last 10 games, will be the third best defense in the NBA. Possible to get up to 2, but I think they're going to stay at 3. And, like, they're making other people uncomfortable. And on a night-to-night basis, Joe Mazzulla has the confidence, whether it's Baylor Shireman gets the first knock against LeBron. Then they pass the baton to Ugo. Yeah. Then Jordan Walsh comes in. So 3 guys that you weren't even sure were going to be part of your rotation at the start of the year. And you're like, go guard Luka Doncic, and one of the best scorers in the NBA. And you could tell by the middle of the second quarter, Luka was over it. He was sick of Ugo chasing him everywhere. He was sick of Baylor Shireman just being a pest. He was sick of Jordan Walsh coming in and being long and lanky. And then JB comes out of nowhere and gets a couple steals, and he's having flashbacks to the 2024 finals. So I did think like the Celtics' best chance to be a legitimate title contender was always going to be not only finding a way to have one of the best offenses despite the lack of Jayson Tatum to start the year, but getting the defense to a level where, especially in the postseason, they could be a competitive on a night-to-night basis. And nights like this are a reminder. In the first 3 quarters against Golden State the other night, and a lot of the games before the break before that, the Celtics are playing like just an inspired brand of defense.
I love that you pointed out something so important, that the 3 guys that you just mentioned, Baylor, Jordan, Ugo, guys who we didn't even know if they were going to get minutes this season, are guarding the best player in the NBA, arguably.
And wearing his ass out.
Right. And then you got Doncic, who's going to the refs every other second being like, where's the foul? Where's the foul? Like, you're seeing the frustration. The best compliment you can give to an opposing player defending you is getting so frustrated and pissed off and complaining to refs.
He was checked out in the first quarter.
Checked out. And this unit is so the Celtics. They run so deep. They got different lethal talent in different categories. Like for Payton I don't know another player in the league right now that embodies the role that Payton Pritchard does. Like to have Payton on your team is every coach's dream because your ego is gone, that you're selfless, and you don't care, and you're still. As Payton said, I don't care if I'm starting or, coming off the bench.
How many guys in the league would be okay with that?
No. They wouldn't be here. They would be probably wanting to get traded or sitting with their, arms crossed.
Now this is two, like, from Al being okay with going to the bench when the Celtics brought in Porzingis and Holiday to now Payton being like, okay, the bench is where I can help this team the most.
And finishing with 30.
I'll go do it. And I think part of it is, as Payton has very eloquently said, like, he's getting plenty of minutes. He's getting plenty of shots. In fact, he's always liked the idea of kind of coming in with that second unit and being able to impact the game and be instant offense and getting those opportunities. Still in there late in quarters when the Celtics have their best players on the floor. And, he's just totally thrived. So everybody buying into their role and how they help this team is such a huge part of it. From, it'll get lost in the shuffle. Nemi, you mentioned the dunk, but like he was active defensively, blocked a couple shots, blocked LeBron at one point.
Even Vooch.
Yeah, so I thought I didn't love the Vooch minutes at the start of the game, but his ability to be post offense, and as the Celtics kind of again find a way to get him involved more, it's could be huge for them moving forward. So everybody plays their part. There was fair questions after they make their move, like how's that bench going to work now? I mean, Simons was really good as a scoring threat, and certainly there were nights in the immediate aftermath where we were like, ugh, like they really could have used an Inferno right now. Well, you got the Pritchferno or whatever you want to call it, because when the Pritchard hour hits, he is out there and I don't even think it's an hour. It's like the Pritchard 2 hours because like he's out there for so much of the game, and I just love the way everyone has bought into being the best version of themselves. And then you have Joe Mazzulla going to the podium after the game tonight being like, yeah, well, we can still get better.
Right. The story's not finished. And to see also, it's funny how Jaylen just not even like this felt like a quieter night, and it mainly is because Payton Pritchard just all eyes were on him, and the different ways Payton scored here tonight. 2 buzzer beaters, shaking guys off, and all the things. So that's going to outshine anything. But we can't undermine. I don't think we have, but we can't undermine the work that Jaylen did right out of the All-Star break. The triple-double is doing now, and that's
with another triple-double tonight.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's going to be huge. And I know that we were talking a lot in our post-game and pre-game and stuff about Jayson Tatum's return because we do have this itch that it may be coming sooner rather than later or not at all. But I just think with Jaylen's ability, Payton off the bench, and throwing a guy like Tatum, like I have no worry in the world that this is not going to mesh well.
Yeah, and we spent a portion of our pregame show talking about the East standings, and it's so funny. Like the Celtics have been rolling. I think 9-2 or 9-1 in their last 10, and they'd been 8-2 before that over the last 10. So there's a lot good happening, and yet they haven't made a whole lot of distance between at least the Knicks and the Cavaliers because those teams have been winning as well. And yet, like the fact that they're in the mix, Eddie was sitting there saying they should make a run for the 1 seed. It would take a real like. The wheels would have to come off for a bit for the Pistons, but the fact that the Celtics have at least entrenched themselves at 2 and have a real chance to sort of stiff arm the charges below them is really encouraging. And again, it speaks to like just how good they've been. They're now 38-19, so they need to, or maybe 37-19, so they need to win the next 3 to do the 40 before 20. Yeah. And like I still say, like I'm going to give them a little bit of an out there because when you start 0-3. Complicates the path to 40-20. There's a chance that they'll have a 40-20 stretch, and just as you said, that might be before Tatum comes back. And I'm just so impressed with every night. It's sort of doesn't always look the same, but you're starting to see some trends. You're starting to see like how this thing will look in the postseason. This game had, even though it was lopsided at the end, it had some playoff vibes just because of the rivalry and the intensity there. And I just thought the Celtics really responded well. Like, there are nights where the offense would be beyond Payton Pritchard. Like, if they had this sort of inefficiency on other nights, they probably lose that game. Totally. And tonight they win by 20.
And what's cool, too, is even you just mentioned it, that playoff feel. Audiences. Like, L.A. is the heart of entertainment, right? So only so many crowds are going to come fill up crypto. But when teams are playing the Boston Celtics, fans want to see the Celtics play because they're like, wait, even without Jayson Tatum, you saw the playoff kind of feel and the atmosphere that it got.
Yeah.
And that's because the Celtics they're phenomenal right now. And fans want to see these guys because also of what they're doing. They're shocking everybody. I mean, they're shocking me. I had them riding 5th, 6th in the East going into this season. And again, we've been crediting him all season long, and rightfully so. But shout out Joe Mazzulla for just orchestrating the roster, the rotation. You always mention pushing the right buttons, and that's what he's been doing. And then everyone following suit, doing their role.
Right.
Jordan
Everyone
Walsh, whether it's
in.
defense, Ugo defense. Like Ugo's not putting up a bunch of points. But the effort plays, the hustle plays, the getting in your face, pissing guys off. Even the other night when he, with Al, the challenge. Like, that's just what you want. Everyone's, like, fulfilling their role, and it's working.
Think about it from Ugo's perspective, too. So, grows up in Spain. Like, Luka is probably, like, this legendary figure.
Did you see the picture of them?
So I haven't. No, there's a picture.
There's
of them.
a picture of
really?
them, guys. Everyone Google search it, girls. Everyone. Picture of them.
Does Ugo have the same haircut?
Oh no, he's tiny. He's the same haircut. He doesn't
Makes
even.
sense.
He probably didn't hit puberty yet. Like he's so tiny, and so is Luka. So
Right.
there's a picture side by side.
I seemed to, because we were looking for something like that when we were talking to him before the season, but it like Ugo and when we talked to him before the year was kind of downplayed it. Was I mentioned that it was obviously when you joined Real Madrid and like Luke has been there. There's some mystique to it. He kind of stiff armed me because I said, well, when you're watching the 24 finals, are you rooting for Luka and the Mavs, or are you rooting for the Celtic team that you had no idea you'd be one day be a part of? And he really didn't answer the question, which was a savvy move for a 19-year-old or now 20. But I love that. He shows. You'd think there would be a measure of like, oh my God, I'm defending Luka, and there's none of that. He was just up on him, hounding guys at three-quarter court and making things difficult. And again, then all of a sudden Derek White swooping in and getting steals. JB got one. Like good things happen when you antagonize. And one of the things that coming into the year that Joe had said was that they wanted to cause more turnovers, and they've kind of gotten away from it. In parts, they're just not a team that generates a lot of steals or turnovers, but they take such good care of the basketball that it balances it out a little bit. Mm-hmm. But you can tell some of the early leakouts tonight and JB getting out and getting some easy buckets. All of a sudden, like, take some of the stress off your offense when you're converting easy buckets. And so, shout out to Ugo for what he did. Again, I go back. Baylor Scheinman will get lost in the shuffle, but it's not easy to be told go guard Luka and be okay with him getting a couple buckets on you. But fight and keep leaning on him, and at some point he's just going to tap out.
And pressing these guys full court too.
Yes.
Like he's like right out the gate. All right, let me pick this guy up full court. That's it from a 19 who just turned 20 in the NBA. That's impressive.
It was a lot of fun. I love the way we can run down. I'm trying to think of like every guy had some moment.
Yep.
Even Vooch, I think he ended up with 9 points and was on the glass. Sharman had his moments. Kata throwing down the dunk.
Even
had the
Derek
block.
with his assists.
Yeah, and I mean Derek is the ultimate guy that I probably way too often lose in the shuffle now. It continues every night. It feels like he's doing something. Whether it's the assist tonight, always with the blocks. He's impacting winning even when the shot's not falling. And when it felt like when they needed just a bucket to kind of take the stress out, especially in the first half. I remember thinking he had some big shots there and got it going. So everything is rolling right now. Having a vehicle you can rely on, that's important. That's why you can rely on 24 Auto Group. They will treat you like family. And that's because they are family owned and operated. They're honest, easy to work with, and they just get it. Whether you're looking for something sporty, something luxurious, or just a solid everyday ride, 24 Auto Group always comes through. With 9 brands and 11 locations across New England, there's something for everyone. And here's the best part. They've got the knack to save you more on a new or pre-owned vehicle, and the knack to pay you more for your trade, up to $2,400 over book value. You can even drive home with just $24 down. So if you want the best deal without the runaround, go see my guys at 24 Auto Group, because you always get more at 24. Online at 24autogroup.com. We'll end on this. I must admit, our friends over at NBC ran the first part of their Tatum documentary. I did not see it because we were doing our own pregame show.
True.
So I'll go back tonight and watch that. It is the clip we showed on our program. It was very beginning of the journey centric, and his emotions in the immediate aftermath of the injury. We know this is going to be 5 parts. I keep telling people I'm most interested in part 6, which will be like after this season and like how did it all play out. But he also obviously did talk to reporters yesterday. I think once you start coming back, you have to talk at least once a week or something until you're back out there. So we can read into whatever you want. I think we've both been on the same page. Think it's all trending towards him being back out. Yeah, right.
He's coming back. This season.
I've never had pretty much since the main workout. I just assume every injury report that comes out, it's going to be the day that he goes from out to doubtful or out to questionable, and that's when we're going to lose our minds. I mean, all signs point to maybe there's a chance once they're back in Boston.
I think for sure. Look, I don't know any insight, and when I say
and
he's coming back,
overreacting to the NBC flexing into the Philly game.
It is interesting that they're putting this out. They're not doing it for no reason. Could you imagine how anticlimactic it would be if all this stuff, everything that NBC and Jayson and his crew is putting out, and then we'll be back
see you next year.
No, look, you don't want to force anything, and Eddie talked about okay, the emotions have to be there. How is he mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically? All of that matters. So if he, if there's a hitch or a hiccup or whatever it is, knock on wood, you maybe want to reconsider.
Right.
But just from they're fleshing this out, and so as an audience, as members of NBC that we're seeing the mini docuseries, I'm excited. I get the hopes, and I think that's the vibe of hey, this guy's going to return very, very soon. Right. I'm thinking it's weeks at this point.
I get there are some that are, and people that have appeared on our network have expressed, dismay with the idea of is it really the quiet work if you're putting out a documentary? Look, I don't mind. We shouldn't be upset when athletes want to peel back the curtain, right? We constantly beg for access, and sure, I'd much rather be the one telling the story, but he gets to tell it in his own voice with his people who have been around it and have been on the inside since day one. And I'm perfectly fine with that because it's going to illuminate this amazing journey for a top 5 player in the NBA as they're coming back from this crazy injury and potentially doing it and diving into the middle of what could be a team that is contending for a title. We have not seen really anything like this. I keep joking about I'm most interested in Chapter 6, but legitimately, the best version of this story is not only Jayson comes back and gets back to the peak of his powers when whatever amount of time that takes him, but that the Celtics, having already outkicked expectations, get him back and continue to make some magical journey. And we'll see where that lands.
Gosh,
and people keep asking, do you have the shifted expectations? Sure. That's what we do in Boston. But the part of it is, I don't feel like it's championship or bust if he comes back.
Agreed.
I know it's the North Star of everything they do. But this can be an amazing story regardless of how what the ultimate finish line is, and he'll be a big part of whatever success comes after this. So I am eager to see where it goes from here, and I just remain steadfast. I've always thought is building towards this. I get he's one, the team doesn't want to put any pressure on him. He does not want to put any timeline because he wants to allow for the same mental hurdles that he's probably gone through for the physical things. He wants to be able to do it on his timetable, for him to be I am ready to do this. And I think that's all you can do. For a guy who's worked his ass off this hard to even put himself in position, he gets the okay to do it on his terms.
I feel it's a movie, it's a trailer to a movie that we're about to see. Honestly, I feel I haven't felt like that in a minute. Yes, the 2024 title run was awesome, and it had every contributing player to that. Now you have the guy that no one thought the Celtics would be able to be in this position without. And here they are. And it's almost like we're throwing out the red carpet being all right, the team rather, throwing out the red carpet being let's go, welcome back, Jayson Tatum,
Yep.
And then to have his guys around him, like Jaylen, like Payton, like Ugo, like Mimi, all these guys, Sam. And collectively, I'm getting my popcorn out being let's cook. And I've never paid attention more than ever. I know I'm not the only one. Than to the injury report.
Yeah,
because you keep seeing it every day. I'm like, it's getting from O-U-T to P. I just need like P for probable. But I just get this. Sometimes it's just your gut, and I who knows? Maybe my gut's wrong, but I just think that he is going to.
All the hints have been. Yeah. It's building towards that, and again, like I don't want to say I half believe him when he says he doesn't know himself. Like I think invariably
he knows.
It's human nature to at least have an idea of when you're building towards. But I do think it's a day by day thing. Like he feels better every day, and like it could move one way, it could move the other way, but it certainly feels like he's trending that way, and it's going to be fun to once we hit that part of the journey, it kicks to another gear.
Yeah.
All right. There's a blizzard going on.
I've been told. At first, I was like, maybe this is a conspiracy theory,
I know.
Maybe there's actually
nothing
happening.
I ruined it for you because like I checked my cameras at my house and I went, nope, we're already in the throes of it.
I went grocery shop. The grocery stores have been insane. People, it felt like COVID again, where like everyone is like stocking up on toilet paper that they're gonna run out of, or it's been.
I mean,
insane.
People understand like 24 hours from now we'll dug out, and it's going to be a giant inconvenience, but we'll get through it.
We'll be all right.
I'm going to go home. I'm going to navigate the process.
I'll be
liquid navigation if needed, and then
you got to drive. I'm close by, but you have a hike.
It's fine. I'm going to get there
tonight. You'll be fine. With this airs tomorrow, we'll check on you.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully this wasn't like final words. My car
for
ends up
those
in a
who are
ditch.
listening the next day.
I am like I said, I'm gonna get behind a plow and I'm gonna go 5 miles per hour all the way home. But then I will be there, and then luckily if I have to do shows or whatever tomorrow, I can beam in through the magic of Zoom.
Apparently, there's a lot of people on Zoom. I'll be here. Lord be willing, I will be here.
It'll be only it's Kayla and 74 meteorologists.
It really is. It's me, and then like everyone's through Zoom. So just get your Zooms back working. Like check the connection, make sure we're all good, because otherwise it's just going to be a show of me, and you guys do not want to see all of me for an hour. It's too long.
It'll be amazing. I think we'll just make it like
a different challenge.
Kayla's podcast.
Kayla's podcast,
Kayla's
airing on
early
NBC
edition.
Sports
All right. I need everybody to go subscribe, go check us out on the YouTube page. We are back with you on Tuesday night when the Celtics play the Suns, the start of a back-to-back, Denver the next night. Stay safe out there, everybody. And if you have a snowblower, come to my house and do my driveway.